Hey everybody, Brian Zane here, and I'm joined by Jay Biggs. It's been a while since you've seen him here on the channel. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
It has been. I mean, it's been a long time, but you know what? Just like everybody should have been, we've been socially distancing, staying at home, trying to be as safe as possible. So I understand, but you know what? Here we are. We're back and hanging out.
So. Yeah, I feel like, I've been missing you, man, because not only that, but on these videos, these predictions videos, they're only like 5 minutes long now because you're not here to talk shop with me unless I feel like I have no one to bounce ideas off of.
Right.
So, and we're matching and everything. The color scheme is there. It's great.
Well,
so,
hopefully old Egghead doesn't disappoint. So.
Right. So let's talk about the TLC card happening this Sunday. Let's begin with the Women's Tag Team Championship match. You got Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defending against, it was supposed to be Asuka and Lana, that just dream team, man. It's like Rock and Cena all over again. Never before, never again. But instead, Lana was written off, and now we've got a mystery partner, and we're not going to find out until, moment of. Everyone and their mother seems to be thinking it's going to be Charlotte Flair coming back to team with Asuka. And I don't know. I hate trying to guess this stuff because I'm generally always wrong. But Biggs, do you think there's any credence to the theory that's going to be Charlotte?
I think that's kind of a waste, honestly, bringing her back just for a tag. That's just my opinion for a tag match. I think that she's somebody that should be, involved more in like the women's title.
Yeah, single stuff. It's weird because I feel like, well, if Charlotte comes back, then you almost think, oh, you're going to get Asuka and Charlotte winning because they're both so well protected and so dominant.
Right.
And I can see that, but it is a makeshift team, and why would I buy these two as a tag team? We finally have been able to embrace the fact that Nia and Shayna are a tag team, because when they won the belts, it felt super weird, and now they finally have this kind of interesting chemistry going where they're still kind of at odds with each other sometimes. But it works. So I don't know if we're ready to go to another makeshift tag team champion pair so soon. And yeah, if it is Charlotte and they don't win the belt, it does feel like kind of a waste of a return. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep it open-ended as to who's gonna replace Lana. Who can really replace Lana, honestly, with that kind of star caliber? It's going to be so hard to fill her shoes, am I right? So my prediction is that, I'm going to say it's not Charlotte. And, of course, I'm going to be wrong. And I'm thinking that the champions will still retain. That's going to be my guess. And so what do you think?
I don't know. Hey, as far as star power, it could be Eva Marie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
All red everything. I'm just saying we're wearing her colors. So do you think that the champs will retain or not?
Oh, yeah, they will. There's no reason to take them off those right now.
Speaking of tag team championships, the New Day will defend the Raw tag team titles against the Hurt Business. Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, and Jay. I've been loving the Hurt Business so far. They've been on a real roll in 2020. They're kind of some of the unsung heroes of the pandemic era in the company. And I think now's their time, man. I think, the New Day having tag titles, it's like, whatever, it's there.
Right.
It's just part of their fabric now. But I think that having the Hurt Business become the new champions is going to be great for them, and it will bolster their thing, because Lash is the U.S. champion right now. Let's give the other two guys some belts. Right. And, the New Day never need those belts anymore. They're like 10-time champs now.
Right, actually, they're a complete staple. So, I get it completely. What I would say is that the Hurt Business will win the belts, because, it would make sense for them. Like you said, they have been on a roll in 2020. It's pretty big. That's Monday Night Hurt Business, really. Am I wrong?
They've been able to straddle that line of face and heel. They vanquished Retribution for us. They're the giant killers in WWE.
Right. They left the leftovers for Ricochet to get beat every week. But anyway, I would say the Hurt Business wins the straps. I think that makes sense.
Well, Biggs, the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton match just got a little spicy, and no pun intended with that one, because they just announced as of today that their match at TLC is now going to be a Firefly Inferno match. So they're bringing back the Inferno match, which in the PG era seems kind of out of left field, don't you think? We've already had a guy lose his eye this year. Why not immolate somebody? I'm just saying.
Do you think it's going to be like the old Inferno match? Honestly, you think they're going to have the flames and things shooting up every time they do a move? And all? I don't know. I just don't see it being the same way.
You think it's going to be like LED fire? With the Thunderdome?
Maybe not LED fire.
Holographic fire.
But maybe they'll put the fire farther out from the ring or something. It just seems like something that's not as safe. I don't know. I don't know. It seems out of place right now in 2020.
shoot your shot, WWE. If you want to have an Inferno match on pay-per-view at this point, why not? Everything else is kind of a dumpster fire anyway this year, am I right?
Right. I mean, they already tried worms in the ring at 33, so I mean, hopefully we don't get that match.
I seriously want to see some more maggots and stuff like projected on the screen from top down, because that was a real artistic experience in Orlando. But no, when they announced the Inferno match today, my heart kind of sank, because I'm like, this is how they're going to have the Fiend lose, right? It's not an issue of will he lose, how will he lose? Because Orton, you've seen how he wrestles. He wrestles in trunks and knee pads and boots, and that's it. Unless his boot catches on fire, or unless we get a stunt double like Sting and Vampiro back in 2000, I don't see Randy Orton losing this thing.
Right.
You know, if the Fiend wears like full clothing and stuff, and like, you know, they're gonna find some way for him to get set on fire. That's the way I see it. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Fiend is just fizzling out. I mean, he was the hottest thing going leading into his debut, and it was like, geez, you know, they had to kill him with that Rollins match at Hell in a Cell. I mean,
the Rollins match and the Goldberg match, lest we forget.
Well, right.
It feels like an eternity ago that we had like live crowds in 2020, right? Like it happened. We had crowds in 2020 for a little bit.
Yeah, it was weird.
And that match with Goldberg did happen, lest we want to forget it. But yeah, I mean, I think that the way them making it an Inferno match now makes it seem like, oh, Orton's going to win this thing. And you know, it reminds me of when the Orton was champion, when he won at WrestleMania, and then they had the rematch at Payback, and it was like the haunted house whatever match, and it was for the title, and then it wasn't, and then when they changed it, oh, well then Bray's going to win because it's not for the title, he's going to get his heat back. So I think this is like the same thing but in reverse, because it's now an Inferno match. There's no way Orton's going to lose.
Yeah, they're just maybe trying to throw us off or something. I'm not sure.
Well, they could surprise us. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe Orton will get set on fire. It'd be a big choice, is all I'm saying.
Well, thank God we're smarks.
So I think Orton's going to win just because the Inferno match just kind of makes that so. So what do you think? Who do you think's going to win this one?
I think I agree with you. It's going to be Orton. I mean, he's just hot off the championship right now.
Time to talk about the Smackdown Women's Championship match, as Sasha Banks will defend against the new and improved Carmella. I mean, she's the untouchable one now. It's a complete departure from the, you know, Staten Island princess gimmick. Not doing the moonwalking anymore. She dances in front of a white sheet with a silhouette. It's very different now. But I do like this new aggressive Carmella. It's such a big departure, and it works for her. What have you seen so far about the new Carmella?
Well, I heard that there was a recent list that was made by, I guess, the creative team. Vince McMahon asked to make a list of wrestlers that you thought that you could enhance that hadn't really been used as much lately, and Carmella apparently was on all of those people's lists. So I guess they're going to give her a push. That's great. You know, I've always thought that Mella was money. You know, in her in-ring work, especially in the beginning, needed a lot of work, but I thought she kind of went past that, you know, after she broke up with, you know, Enzo and Big Cass and started doing her own thing.
I've always maintained that it wasn't an issue of when she was last time when she was champion and everything, and people kind of ragged on her, oh, she can't wrestle. I never thought it was an issue of Carmella couldn't wrestle. I think it was an issue of Carmella was not required to wrestle. If that makes any sense. Like she, you know, they teach you the basics and the fundamentals and everything there, but like depending on your character, you may not need to do that stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of how I felt Carmella was like at that point. I think it was, 2016, 2017 or something like that.
There, yeah.
So I feel that Carmella is in a position now where she can be a bit more technical. We saw a little bit of that in their little preview match this past week on SmackDown with her and Sasha that ended in DQ. But I think I'm liking the more aggressive attitude. She's, you know, beating people with champagne bottles now. And so, but as far as like who I think is going to win this one, I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha won the first one, and then we have a rematch down the line where Carmella wins the belt. But I think this first one, Sasha will retain. What do you think?
I think Sasha will retain too. She's just been going too strong to just all of a sudden, boom, take it off of her. But I do actually think you may be right with that one. This may be one of those events where, like, the next event, Carmella wins the belt. It's like WWE's been known for this. You know, they'll have this huge feud going into like WrestleMania, and you're like, oh, this is going to be the title change of the moment, and then nothing happens. It's just a regular match. Someone wins, and you're like, the next event's when they do the actual title change for whatever reason. That's just how they do it. Yeah. So I think it's just that longevity of booking. That's the only thing I can think of.
Stretch it out. In one of the two TLC matches on the evening, you got Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. And this is exciting to me because these two have never wrestled before, and AJ can work well with just about anybody. Not that Drew needs help, because he can also work pretty well with just about anybody. Right. And I mean, these two guys have a lot of great momentum, and the potential is there for this to be a really great matchup.
I didn't even realize this is their first meeting and encounter.
They were probably like ships passing the night in Impact, you know, on AJ's way out.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's really exciting, the potential for this one. I will say, just based on the Nightmare Before TLC skit, alone on Raw this week, I'm sold, man. I want to see them. I want to hear Drew go, "Hey, my back."
I also feel like they are really stacking this match against Drew, especially with Miz and Morrison this week, and them, with the interference and all that. And then you got that other dude that's like 14 feet tall hanging out outside.
Almost,
Almost.
Formerly that man.
He's almost that tall. Anyway, but yeah, so he, I feel like it's like almost like 4-on-1 in some way, but Drew's gonna come out on top. At least that's how I feel.
I definitely feel that Drew has not been in a position yet where he has to be like the John Cena thing, where he has to overcome that huge odds. He has not done that yet. It's been like always kind of 1-on-1, if not 2-on-1. So it's not it's not been an outlandish push for him. I think that's what makes his current run so appealing.
Well, to be fair, yes, that's true, but I also believe they haven't put Drew McIntyre in 12 rounds yet.
But we are overdue for a third Condemned movie. I think Drew McIntyre would be a ringer for that one.
No.
Or maybe, what was it, Countdown or Lockdown 2? The one that Dolph Ziggler started a while ago. I think that ultimately Drew is going to win here. It's going to be a big battle. I think Drew will win. I think we're going to hold off on a cash-in attempt for a little while longer. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that they're going to hold off on. I can imagine them doing that right now. It wouldn't make much sense.
And finally, in the next TLC match, Roman Reigns will defend his Universal Championship and therefore his place at the head of the table against Kevin Owens. So what do you think about this matchup right now? What do you think about Roman Reigns so far in 2020?
No matter who's at the head of the table, Kevin Owens is still going to eat more. But that being said,
hey-o.
Sorry, channeling some old inner cornet there or something. I'm not sure what. Listen, no hate on Kevin Owens. I love his character right now too. I've always thought this is kind of the character that they should have done after he attacked Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And just kept with it.
Boy, that feels like a lifetime ago.
It does.
It's Kevin Owens beating up Vince McMahon. That was going to go somewhere.
Yeah. This feels like a feud that could go a couple pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But, it'll probably be done by Royal Rumble, maybe the blow-off or something for it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. But, I think Reigns is going to keep it. There's no question about that. He's just way too hot right now. And they're doing things that they should have done with Reigns years ago right now. And I love it.
Yeah. There's no reason for Reigns to lose this one. I'm sure KO is going to look very valiant in defeat. I'm sure that Jey Uso is also going to be involved because that's what he does. And I'm sure it's going to be a thing where maybe he'll accidentally hit Roman, but then he'll make up for it, and then he will hit Kevin, and that will allow Roman to win. There will be some high drama because you can't have a Roman Reigns match now without some high drama because it gets so melodramatic and intense when he's in there every time. You have no idea how dark it's going to get, but it usually spirals in that direction anyway. So I guess we're in agreement here that Roman's going to retain. Do we have any disagreements on who's going to win these matches?
No. We picked a great pay-per-view to start off again.
Yeah, it's like, we disagree on everything. It's fine. There's nothing at stake here. It's not like we do punishments if one of us loses. We're just friends chatting about wrestling.
We're practical predictors.
Yes, exactly. We're practical, we're pragmatic, and we're predictable, I guess. What do you guys think's going to happen to TLC this Sunday? Let us know in the comments below, and I will see you on the other side with my review of TLC 2020. That's going to be happening on Monday morning. So, for the returning Jay Biggs, the first of what will be hopefully many times we'll see you back here on camera.
Please do.
I'm Brian Zane, and we'll see you next time.